Hi everybody, this is Harmony with Harmony Stitches and welcome back to my channel. Here on this channel we talk about my crafting journey, which is crochet, knitting, and Here we talk about my crafting journey, which is usually cross stitch, knitting, and crochet. Each week I show you what I've been working on. We spin a wheel to see what WIP I'll be working on, and sometimes we spin a wheel to see if I'm going to do a new start or not, and what that would be if I did. And I show you my progress on all of those things. So let's go ahead and get started. Today is January 9th, 2022. We're 2 weeks in almost to this new year. On this past Wednesday, I posted a bonus cut video that showed my finishes for the second half of 2021 and my WIP parade that showed all of the WIPs that I had ending 2021. So if you haven't had a chance, go ahead and go watch that. I think it should be linked at the end of this video for your ease. If not, you'll be able to see it. It's the last video that I posted and it's in the playlist under bonus cuts. Okay, so let's go ahead and get started and check out my WIPs. First, I always do knitting if I can remember. I am still working on this Musselburgh hat. This is the Musselburgh by Ysolda Teague is the designer. I am using lolodidit yarn in the Loriginal base. This is Muggle magazine from the Quotable Dumbledore yarn club that was about a year and a half ago ended. I did, I think, forget to move the progress marker up, so I didn't do all of this last week, but I did quite a few rounds. And I think I measured it after I filmed my last video and I had about 4 inches left to knit. So I am getting closer and closer all the time. I am using US size 3 needles in the magic loop method. Not my preferred method, but I got some new needles for Christmas and I'm excited to be able to make a 16-inch needle and to go round and round and round and round and not have to deal with the magic loop. So that's pretty exciting. Okay, so then the next no crochet this week. I did not work on my amigurumi doll. All I have left is the facial features left though. And I'm just trying to find a time where I want to tackle that. It's not hard. It's just quick stitches and then you have to sew them on. And that's the part that I'm avoiding. So no crochet this week. So we have my new start in cross stitch. It was Where There Are Bees. I think I was saying it wrong last week, but it is Where There Are Bees. I started on the biggest piece here, and I think I made some pretty good progress. I guess it just depends on your idea of that, but I am pretty sure that I am at least 25% complete. So this is the whole piece here. And then I'll show you a little bit closer up. I have almost the whole bottom right corner done, and then I started to move over to the left. That is as wide as the piece is. So that's pretty cool. I made it all the way across the bottom. I was working on this hexagon here last night. Is that a hexagon? 8 sides? I don't know. I can't count it right now. I was working on this, but then I got tired and I quit. But I did get, quite a bit done this week. I am stitching this with the called for flosses on 28 count Monaco. I believe this is antique white. I don't know. When I got them from my supplier or my retailer online, they weren't separated or labeled in any way. So it was hard to tell the difference between that and the ivory or the off-white or whatever I got. So this pattern only calls for 3, and I know they look messy, but it's because I saved my scrap pieces. Because you never know when you're going to run out and you just have like 2 or 3 stitches left, and that scrap really comes in handy. So it calls for DMC 3772, DMC 926, DMC 3828, and 3787. I'm pretty sure I'm going to run out of the 3787, and I'm going to have to get more. but the rest of the color should make it through the rest of the pattern. Even maybe the 2 smalls. So we'll see. I do have the fabric in here for the 2 smalls, so I believe that I can probably get to about 70, maybe 50 to 75% done the next time this comes up, because it's going on the wheel for the WIP wheel. And speaking of WIP wheel, last week came up Bittersweet Trio by Waxing Moon Designs. If you remember, I had most of this one done. I had to finish the sunflowers and the bittersweet. And then I was moving on to the squirrel on top of that very large pumpkin. I told myself, Harmony, be an adult and get the bittersweet done. However, I did not have the floss colors, at least for the green parts of the bittersweet. So here we are. That pumpkin is reaching completion. It is huge. So I did finish the sunflowers over here, but this has to wait until I can get the color for the bittersweet, for the vines. And then I moved over here. So let's fold it in half so you can get a better picture. That pumpkin and the squirrel are pretty dense. They're pretty large on this pattern. They take up the whole thing. So I'm almost finished. I did finish the tail on the squirrel, and I just need to do his body. So I know that the next time this comes up, I'll be able to finish that and more. I was taking a look at the pattern, and the way that I'm changing this to make all 3 in one line. I don't know if these leaves here in the corners between them are going to work, but I'm going to leave them there for now. And then when I go to put the borders in next time, I'll have a clear idea, because I need to stitch the sunflowers up in the corners first. So we'll see. And I actually think it's the next pattern, the one with the crow, that might cause the issue. But I think it will look cute without it, or without those leaves there. So I will check on that. I am using the called for DMC Conversion on the chart. This one is, I think, 2 called for DMCs, and then all the rest week's dye works. And as you can see, there's quite a few colors, and I didn't want the expense of that. So I just went ahead with the DMC. I'm stitching this one on 28 count Dove Gray Monaco that I coffee tea dyed myself. So this one will go back into the bin on the WIP wheel, and that will come up when it comes up. Okay, so I did have a new start this week, and it kind of is connected to my purchases. So as you may know, if you've been with me for any length of time, I was gifted this pattern here, Lady of the Flag by Nora Corbet from Mirabilia. And my daughter wanted this, so I was patient, and I was a lucky recipient of a giveaway. But my daughter wanted if I did end up getting this, she wanted the teal conversion to make it look like the actual Statue of Liberty, who is Lady of the Flag. And so she wanted the dress to be in a teal conversion, and we're also converting the flame of the torch. It's kind of white, and she wants it more red to be more realistic of what, well, of course, flames can be all different colors depending on what you're burning, but she wants it to be red. So with that being said, I was waiting for the fabric, and the fabric did not come in, but my LNS had, while her order did come in, but the fabric was the only thing that was back ordered. And she knew that I was wanting to start this in January if the fabric didn't come. She says, you know what? I think I have one in back stock stash that I never put out. So she was kind enough to let me have it, and I did get a start this morning. I got one strand in before church, and then I started working on it when the football game started. So here we are. This is Constitution fabric, or We the People, actually, by the Primitive Hare. So it has the Constitution printed on it. And I started here on the dress. And I started in the middle. Usually I start in the bottom right. But in order to ensure that the placement was correct on this fabric, I was a big girl and started in the center. I put my adult pants on and started in the center. It took a lot of, I ironed the fabric to make sure that I was getting an accurate measurement. I measured and measured and measured and measured and got this as close to the middle as I could, except for, let me show you. See how the tip of the flag is way over here? Well, it says "We the People" in really big letters up there, and I wanted to try to ensure that the tip of the flag was not covering any of the letters. So by my rough calculations, I decided to move it down about a 1/2 inch. So it won't be exactly centered up and down on the fabric, but I figured that my LNS would help me when it came to framing time. So I did move it down a little bit so that way the tip of the flag was not, hopefully, if I did it correctly, it's not in the middle of the word people. So I did start that. Before I could start it, I had to prepare my floss. And so I got all of these flosses on thread drops. And these are the ones for the dress and a couple of the ones for the flag and the pole, the flag pole. That took me quite a while. I started it while the iron was warming up, but then I still have all of these that need to be put on floss drops. So I'll do that every once in a while. I'll grab another one and put it in, or as they come up. I told my daughter, I don't know why I haven't been doing this whole, like every once in a while, I'll grab the bag, put one on a floss drop. But since I did get my fancy new floss drops and my hole punch, that I'm able to have them all match as well. So I started on that and I'm very excited about it. This fabric from the Primitive Hare is 30 count linen, which is not my favorite. And my tension tends to be a little bit tight, so I'm going a little bit more slowly so that way I don't pull the fabric and distort the threads. So I think it's going to take me a little bit longer than what I thought, just so that way I can ensure that it looks as best as I can. I know my stitches still aren't going to be great just because I'm not going to say a perfectionist, but I just don't worry about how my stitches lie because people aren't going to be standing and looking at it. But I don't want the fabric to be distorted because I think that will be seen. That's more easily seen, I think. Or not. I don't know. That's just my thought about the whole thing. Okay, so the next thing is my WIP wheel for the week. I ain't gonna lie, it landed on something and I'm like, I just did that, or it felt like I just did that, so I spun it again. And this one came up recently too, but I'm deciding to go with it anyways, and it's Vintage Animals. And this one's for my grandparents in memory of them. And I think I'm just going to work on the alphabet. Unless I get bored, I'm just going to continue the alphabet up along the left side. And I might work on some of the flowers here. I'm just missing a color because my greens were too similar. So I need to swap one out. But if I can do that, I'm going to take some of the flowers up along that side and then up this side. So let me show you where I am right now. This is on 28 count Dove Gray Monaco as well. Not coffee tea dyed. Okay, so this is where I am. And so over here, I'm going to continue the alphabet. And then over here, I'm going to continue the flowers. Oops, can you see that? Sorry, I might have been off camera. Continue the flowers. So, and if I get around to it, I'm going to rip that squirrel out because I don't like that blending. And I see that on whatever this is, I'm halfway done. So I might do that too, just because I don't like them to be halfway done. I want them to be finished. So I have a thread hanging here and everything. I just have to figure that out. So that's my plan for that one this week. And I should be able to tackle quite a bit of that alphabet on my lunch break. Because this past week, I had Monday off still. The office was closed still for the holidays. And then I had the morning off from work so I could go to an appointment. So I did get a little bit of extra stitching on my WIP Wheel Spin pick for the week that I normally do. But I think I can make some great progress on this one as well. Okay, so that's all of my projects for this week, but I do have a little bit more purchases. I think I alluded to last week that I ordered some needles. and they arrived. So these are, I got 2. They're both shorty packs from Teague. One's blue, one's red. They're still the twist, the twist, red twist that I have in my collection. But these are just a little, not different, but they come in this little black case, each of them. And what it is the bottom row is on this, in this particular set is size 0 to size 3 US. And these ones are 2 inches long and these ones are 3 inches long. So you can use them in combination with each other to make different sizes. So you can go all the way down to a 9-inch. You can make a 12-inch, a 15-inch. I don't know why you would need a 15-inch, but maybe if your hat was a little bit smaller and, you know, the 16-inch was going to be too big for the circumference, maybe you're making a child size hat, maybe you want a 15-inch, like, you know, that might work. So it came in this little, the size 0 to 3 came in the red bag, has another zipper here, and it comes with a needle gauge and ruler, and then some accessories for your needles. And then the blue set, same, got accessories and cables. Yes, they come with their own cables. But these are size US 4 to US 8. So same thing, 2 inches and 4 inches. So they're really small, but you can make 9-inch circulars with these. So that would be really great for socks. I can't get that snapped. It snaps back shut. So that was my purchases. I do have a couple more things from Amazon coming. I have more of these plastic bags because my WIP stack is getting large and I'm running out of bags. And then some, they're called cable key rings. And they're just like a little cable, kind of like these cables for the needles, kind of like these wire cables. But they have like a little screw on the end connecting both sides. And some people I've seen have been using them as floss rings for their thread drops. So I ordered a set of those to test them out and see what they were like. They were supposed to arrive yesterday, but they're delayed. Amazon says that they're supposed to be here, which again is no big thing. They'll get here when they get here. I just like to monitor when I'm getting things to try to get them really quickly so that way they're not sitting on the porch so we don't have people stealing things. So I'll show those to you next week if I'm sure that they'll be here by then. So I think that's all that I have to share with you this week. And I hope to come back next Sunday. What would that be? The 15th? 18th, 16th, the 16th, January 16th with an update, show you my progress on Lady of the Flag and Vintage Animals. So we'll see how we get there. Lady of the Flag is probably going to stay in my rotation. I'll probably work on her some each week. I'm not in a big hurry to get her done, but I would like to get her done fairly quickly because my husband wants one for us as well, because this one's going to be for my daughter and it will go with her when she moves out sometime in the future. And so I have to stitch 2. So I don't want her to take forever because I want to stitch the one for us as well. And then I want to be able to give that pattern away sometime in the future. So all right, I hope that you get some crafting time in. You can go ahead and always share with me below what you're working on. And if it's something I haven't seen before, I'll go look up the pattern. I know that Peggy did that once and it was pretty exciting. It was a houndstooth. I can't remember. It was a blanket. It was a houndstooth blanket and it was really pretty. So share with me below. I would like to see what you're working on as well. Until next week, bye.